It's time for the best game ever. Okay, I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Episode 1. Turnabout Memories. This is the HD edition. Or, how did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business, my dude. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Phoenix is a fucking murderer. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Five years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. April 11, 9:40 AM, this record defendant lobby number 3. Oof, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lepers. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never your fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you only said, and quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. What? And you have already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our clients see you are nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning, try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say I've given it all I've got. Yup, it will be fine, no problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a code or something, Mr. Wright? It's actually Wright. Like the Flying Brothers, people screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a code, that's what this mask is for. When Doug says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. I heard many people picked up this game during the pandemic, just for this case. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But the trial traumatized me so badly I thought I would never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. April 11, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. I fucking love this game. Trials and Tribulations is the best, in my opinion. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Just look at me. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yeah, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing right next to him? Yes, well, you are just a rookie. Are you sure you can handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him the toughest look. Of course, Your Honor, I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense attorney. Boss, don't worry, little girl, it will be all over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I would like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was the student named Doug Swallow. He was a 4th-year student studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously botched his getaway. Then they called the policia. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well, the court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Crime photo number 1. The crime took place behind the Ivy University building. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. Truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. Unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question? Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentleman, if you will. What? Stand up to him, yeah? Show him what you are made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause? Go on. Please, say you know at least much. I'm so sorry, I didn't get the chance to read through the wall file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here, the details of the case are filed under the court record, but you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record, I think I can see by pressing tab. All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer me, dear. Yes sir, I just do that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. I just pressed tab here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution, but how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new superpowers as tongue gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear at this trial, as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oops, I'm terribly sorry. You are the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spot like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. God. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. I wish there was a game. Actually, I was under the impression that in this game I would play as, in one case, as Marvin Grossberg. But I don't know, in the Attorney Online you get the chance, you get to play as him. But that's some fan-made sprite then, I guess. They don't call him the Rookie Killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into all Greybird's face. Yes, sir, into all Greybird's face. Mr. Grossberg tried to set better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record, people's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with T-Tab, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? This girl. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dolly Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye, you seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Ah, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. Whoa! The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye, it's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student, Mr. Wright. You understand that you are suspected in death of your fellow student, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Oh, the first witness's testimony. The victim and I have been tried as that. But I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see, so you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. It looks like this judge understands. You're being naive, you know, too naive. It seems that you have forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be? This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if the witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he's your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that this testimony now, there was a lie, contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Lel, Miss Serica. Yeah, he was there. So you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right? Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who's this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right, I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? Oh no, it wasn't me, I'm not the killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is that you knew the victim, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right, I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the small salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor, what is it now? Who's this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow? The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there is a contradiction here. Mr. Grosberg, quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it, I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine, I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Oh, are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute, he's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath the jacket. Mr. Wright, you have been lying to me. Please forgive me. Yeah, you made our client cry. Let him, the P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him, Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right, it kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X, huh? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your core medicine is right now? Your Honor, I would like to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this, Uwu? In the victim's head, it's the Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I get a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that the argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court! Your Honor, I would like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well, the court will accept them into the record. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. Another testimony. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind the building. We talked for a bit and then at around 3 we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the incident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible? Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies, you fag. The truth is, I went because he called me. Yep. Okay, let's look at this. When did the watch stop? It's after 3, right? The watch stopped after 3. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:35? 45. Yeah, and we were both there, right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit it, I was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much though. A little bit earlier in your testimony you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so There are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. High voltage cables run overhead, around the roof. Finally, I think we are getting somewhere. Really? I actually kind of forgot about this part. His testimony. So you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:35? 45, why? Yeah, pretty sure that's the time class ends. But they are always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. But it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Just let's go on with your testimony. I don't understand what he means by this. No idea. No idea here. Yeah, no. Cut! I need more information. Like, what? And then we split up. So what was it when you were talking about? You know. That maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime, I wish that were true. Then later when I went back I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was... Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. No, what? God damn. Which sentence was it? I don't find a contradiction in this. It's circumstantial. God damn it, help me, someone help me. How did I get stuck here? Okay, let me see what Mia says. Well, Mia, I don't know. Yeah. I can't seem to find any contradiction. The boy isn't exactly what I would call a natural born liar, you know, but still we can't have him continue to spout nonsense. I know, but what can I do? Well, I'm certain he must be still hiding something. Information. Right now it's information we need more than anything else. It's a new sentence that we need. Fuck off! Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is? It's kind of embarrassing. She's sweetheart. Oh, what was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dolly Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow, before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the incident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Those homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Oh. Okay, so I just had to press every sentence. Okay, I kinda forgot it. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately this time of the death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by this explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it. It was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. That is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, You're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Established murder method. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we have heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite a brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? And not only must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that, actually I had totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. As for the cause of death, I would say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there is nothing like, even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a little bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? It's here, dude, it's here. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we have heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable? Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Prey, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praising is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. No, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use a cable as the murder weapon was the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Oh, you mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket, the palm print of the defendant's very own hand. I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Order, that's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We are done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor! At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Hold it. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I would be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. No matter what is it you have to say, I believe in you and I will represent you to the very end. Objection! We have already established the defendant's guilt. There is no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Dog Swallow is dead. What? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. I've already read this. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. I told the truth. Everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. But as things currently stand, we are absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I will tell the truth. She'll be okay, won't it? Miss Faye, I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. Feels like my hemorrhoids died during the Harlem Shake. God damn it. When I pushed the victim, that guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left I started to get worried, so I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. I obviously have to press him on the statement, but the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, the Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. Simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. Okay. Now I can finally enjoy the game on both of my ears, because I've been trying to... Never mind. When I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true, even a doofus like him could have missed that. Miss Faye? Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Bright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like a snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha, could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. The umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in the testimony just now? Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ah, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add a bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. What? No! Oh, okay. Fucking. I've been fooled. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look at closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order, order! The victim he moved, Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Umbrella owned by the victim found broken near the electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot win the final judgment. No. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown into the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Get wrecked. Finish his testimony. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. I'm sorry, exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? It's Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? The mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the voting. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. That's the good news. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Yeah, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. April 11, 11:52 AM. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. B. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She will save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Oh, what do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life? Huh. Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and we first met about 8 months ago, here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side anyway. One day she and I just bumped into each other on in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, and here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this." Sure. So she gave you this. I'm sorry, I have to take a break here from reading. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright? It makes me so happy I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present. A small butter necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway, so after that you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. Was this a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say, and I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct? I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grosberg. I need to finish this myself. Oh yes, but I'm afraid that will not be enough, my dear. I go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. Better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes though. To be continued, and we are not saving. Oh no. April 11, 12:13 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. The next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Oh no. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt. Take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you read a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness. Could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I always feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If you may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. What? Sir? But she's flat. And you're big old titties. Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever is on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it. Yes, I can see why you would say that. She's going to be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around your little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after the class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. So he just collapsed. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, what? It's my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never... Hold it. There's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on bunch of paper-thin lies. Teehee, you haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we have met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Madame? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed. Okay, there's one sentence here. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after the class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking. Okay, then suddenly Dougie just collapsed. What? Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? True contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never... Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that, I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I would like to revise my testimony. Looks like we are finally getting somewhere. I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. What? It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to that effect, that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Good reasoning. May I have a moment to answer? By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on. And I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. But it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of the thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. But, okay, let me check this. Was there something about there was no thunder? As you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a second, Mia. The testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was a lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Now is not the lesson for science, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor, anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? That was fast. I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Dogswallow was murdered, but that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bullet. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be thinking that not guilty. I'm heard that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on the day at that location. What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? This affidavit. And who is this affidavit from? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 PM that day. Was it a blackout? All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 PM, which fits with the time of the death, listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result touching the severed electrical cable. Why was he hiding this affidavit? According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. 2:55 PM. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Faye? Do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable, Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? The umbrella. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor? I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense. Oh, that was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. That was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? It wasn't the umbrella. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now then, this happened at around 3 PM, correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 PM, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's show that caused the power outrage. Yes, the prosecution also came to the same conclusion, and it was that very show that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See, the umbrella is by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged into the pole as the result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order! Order in the court. Oh, the lamentations of my enemy. How have I longed to wait to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way to defend Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She says some things that are a little different than I remember them. What? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time, please, Mr. Judge? Of course it's alright. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. Is she? What I witnessed, part 2. The truth is, Finney pushed him twice. The first time I was into it was the electrical pole, then when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Finney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. That's the sentence. Thank you, Dahlia. So after being shot, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Oh dear. It's gonna be like... Yes. Easy. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that's medicine. That's the one Finney likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 PM. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay? There's a 10-minute gap. What time was it when the lab suffered the power outage? Outage? Due to the cable snapping. Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55. Oh. Would you care to explain the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? Defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. This is nonsense. The real murderer? Even you can deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer. Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as this killer? Should I present Winston's Payne profile? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Madam Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Grossberg. Grossberg is 61. He looks like 40. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How can you? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that what time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the man dearest to you. Order! Order, Miss Faye. What? I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on the day, however, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene. It was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge. Hold it. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. You... What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just from now from the record. What the... Are you deaf? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. He's gotten himself in his way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I have arrived just in the nick of time. I found a police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor? May I interrupt you for a moment? Mr. Prosecutor? Ah, don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is, I go right ahead. Madame Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet doggy? Yes, I am. Not only I am saying you murdered Dog Swallow, but you also tried to pin the voting on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. That is all just too much. That is all just too much for poor little me to bear. Oh, I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth your motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. What does it read? Location, District Courthouse Cafeteria, date time, August 27, Diego Armando 27, Occupation Lawyer, Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Eight months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building, and then, the same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony, but what about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she had no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Very well then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on just for a little bit longer? Of course not. Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready. Hey, of course not. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. I met my Feeny. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We have been going out ever since that fateful day. We are so lovely, Woovie. We literally makes people sick. I'm just jealous, I think. Mr. Wright, do that again and you will head in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go gather. Okay. I met my feeding. So what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Perhaps to a woman your age, but to me Finn is handsome. Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but the rest of the planet is a time of toast. Love is a mysterious thing and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked. He's telling the truth. It was truly shocking. This Mr. Spade wife. Beautiful mushroom growing tall in the darkness, it comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeny. What were you doing in this courthouse basement? The courthouse reading room, the strange place to look to place. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only the art student, he was also planning to on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is waste of time, it has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case. I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. You better tread carefully. Keep pressing. Your Honor, if you will allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is this? What is the meaning of the cocky smile on your face? Miss Faye, 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report, and that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eyes, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order! This is unbelievable. It's true then, the loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn. Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne. We are not allowed it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I'm speaking. Oh, pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest? Huh? Child. Okay. Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I will tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during the incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. Another testimony? The poisoning. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for a moment, that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was very special kind of poison, so you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you have heard from the witness's statement, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today, and I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Because Grosberg is here as well. Oh, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. So actually, if you are not a native English speaker and you have no idea what pharmacology means, it's obviously a strategy wiki. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right, up until 8 months ago, Miss Dolly Harton was dating Mr. Swallow, and if you recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all, and then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done it, that was the one sitting in this very table. At his very table. No. Order. Could it be? That's nothing but a basis. May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, right? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true, in fact the entire courthouse was turned upside down, but they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something like that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you are saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that. Provide some evidence or I will have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we are going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and of entire courthouse, and yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you know wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's... that's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean this way? The day that the witness met and fell for Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. And all for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. But are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in the bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Order in the motherfucking court. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Go. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dolly or Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dolly Hawthorne is dating you is... because of that necklace. Dolly Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is the bottle necklace you love and to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room. You said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy every time I see her. She always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. For Dolly Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You are lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Starts crying on the witness stand. Mia, are you alright? Oh, the defendant, he's getting away. Bailey, hurry after him. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no, what is it? The bottle necklace? It's a Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that he could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology isn't enough, Mr. Wright. What did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay, just give back the necklace. I ate the evidence. What? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. What the? What is he doing now? Your Honor, you got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly the bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling of defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do, and it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side too. For example, I would trust the witness Miss Hawthorne with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in court of law, evidence is everything. Even after I prove so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doc Swallow. Last night someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is the thief. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, the defendant is... Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doc Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye. If you are so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance, think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back, therefore... Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? This guy. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doc Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out, but let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Mr. Hawthorne was planning to poison was in fact you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright, this must be killing for him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hoffman truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right, the bottle necklace, that's all she cared about. But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dolly Hoffman could think of only one thing, how to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time, but there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, the Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true. Feeny? What a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne? It appears that we are nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well... Hey old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me? This way, Mr. Judge. With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind. But we are not finished. Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. You're not getting away this time. I can't let her get away this time. Stop me, if you keep pushing on without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? Losing your attorney's badge. You would force to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No! You better think it over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say, Miss Grey? What? Well, Miss Fay? Can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible, you can't possibly... Stupid woman. Is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented, just one. If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show this court irrefutable proof that Mr. Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Finney's right beloved cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the incident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. she was the one who took his bottle of cold killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doc Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to record the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After showing the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying a poison bottle of cold killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and the victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doc Swallow to live. She used the severed electric cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case Doc Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone, surely you aren't fooled, are you? The stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is in desperate one. So Miss Hawthorne. This cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some? Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just as filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us! I dare you to take some of the medicine right now. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you have won well, do you, Mia Fey? Heh. That's just fine, for the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again, I'm certain of it. Question mark. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Oh, why? Yes. I'm going to spend a little quality time with the man in blue now. I wish you all the best. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim, but even so your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care, I'm Winston Payne, and I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier I could have sworn you said. There. It's alright, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So if she's trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer, show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have this? Are you willing to bet your life? And he dies. My hair is flying, beautiful hair. Oh, no, 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 no. God damn. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, Your Honor. I will file papers for immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor. Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor. Whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne, this can't be happening. A nightmare. It's like losing my daughter. It's like losing to my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly. Very well then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant Phoenix Wright not guilty. This court is adjourned. April 11, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Miss Buswis. Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers we have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. Thanks, you know, I was thinking, go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think she was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could have never said those things kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake of something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right, that's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more, try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I am studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye? A lawyer is someone who can help people when they are in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I will study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. I hope we can see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. That's Phoenix. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend, but Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. I don't even know how long this stream was. But yeah, we are ending it here. This time is 1 AM. Oh, That's the second. That's the second case. I'm not going to play that. So for this Ace Attorney stream, it was this for the case 1. I think in the second stream will be the second case, and the third case. Although they are longer than this one, so be aware of that. Yeah, see you next time.